and Story World. Song and Story World.
Hello and welcome to Song and Story World. Queen Quinquidine never smiled, and it wasn't because she had such a strange name. No, when she was a young princess, she had a brother called Prince Peter. Now that was a much more sensible name, wasn't it? Princess Quinquidine called him Petey. One day they were playing hide and seek in the forest by the castle, not far from the harbour. But when it was Princess Quinquidine's turn to look for Petey, no matter how hard she tried, she just couldn't find him anywhere at all. Even the king, the queen, and all the palace guards could not find him. He was never seen again, which was very mysterious and terribly, terribly sad. From that day on, Princess Quinquidine was sad, miserable and sad. Even when she grew up, she was still sad. And when she eventually became queen, she was still sad. Although she was a very good queen, all the people looked at her and saw how miserable she looked. They all wished she would smile. It's always nice to see someone smile, isn't it? But Queen Quinquidine just didn't. She just didn't. People didn't understand what losing her brother Petey had meant to her.
Poor Queen Quinquidine, way down in the dumps, always sad and despairing. Poor Queen Quinquidine always has the grumps. People say nearly all the while they wish their queen would smile. Give us a smile, give us a grin, give us a laugh, it isn't a sin. Why the miserable mood you're in? Smile, smile, smile. Chuckle a bit, giggle for glee, give a guffaw or a tee-hee. Why be miserable company? Smile, smile, smile. Poor Queen Quinquidine, always feeling blue, looks so glum and so gloomy. Poor Queen Quinquidine, nothing's ever new. People say they would run a mile to see their sad queen smile. Give us a smile, give us a grin, give us a laugh, it isn't a sin. Why the miserable mood you're in? Smile, smile, smile. Chuckle a bit, giggle for glee, give a guffaw or a tee-hee. Why be miserable company? Smile, smile, smile. Poor Queen Quinquidine, always looking glum, always looks so dejected. Poor Queen Quinquidine, never having fun. People say that although they care, there's not much joy to share. Give us a smile, give us a grin, give us a laugh, it isn't a sin. Why the miserable mood you're in? Smile, smile, smile. Chuckle a bit, giggle for glee, give a guffaw or a tee-hee. Why be miserable company? Smile, smile, smile. Give us a smile, give us a grin, give us a laugh, it isn't a sin. Why the miserable mood you're in? Smile, smile, smile. Chuckle a bit, giggle for glee, give a guffaw or a tee-hee. Why be miserable
One day, Queen Quinquidine's Prime Minister, Monty, decided he really had to do something, although he and the Queen weren't really the best of friends because she was always so miserable. He summoned the captain of the biggest ship in the nearby harbour. His name was Captain Byamile. Yes, another rather unusual name. His wife had an unusual hobby too, archery. You know, where people shoot arrows into a round target. She wasn't very good though, and when people talked about her lack of archery skills, they said, Mrs. Byamile. Mrs. Byamile. They thought that was quite funny for some reason. Anyway, Monty, the Prime Minister, told Captain Byamile to search the 7 seas to find something, anything, somewhere, somehow, that would cheer the Queen up and make her smile. What a task! Still, the captain told Monty that he would do his very best and that he would set off in his ship later that very day. First, he had to get his ship ready. Perhaps the most important thing he had to do was to fill the galley with lots of food. A galley on a ship is like a kitchen in a house. It's where the cooks get food ready for the crew. And boy, was there a lot of food in the galley. Was there? Well, you tell me.
I am the captain, this is my ship. Load up the galley for our little trip. And the crew say, cook, serve us bread, as we sail the 7 seas. Bread, lots of bread, as we all sit down to tea. I am the captain, this is my ship. Load up the galley for our little trip. And the crew say, cook, serve us fish, as we sail the 7 seas. Fish, lots of fish, as we all sit down to tea. Cook, serve us bread, as we sail the 7 seas. Bread, lots of bread, as we all sit down to tea. I am the captain, this is my ship. Load up the galley for our little trip. And the crew say, cook, serve us fruit, as we sail the 7 seas. Fruit, lots of fruit, as we all sit down to tea. Cook, serve us fish, as we sail the 7 seas. Fish, lots of fish, as we all sit down to tea. Cook, serve us bread, as we sail the 7 seas. Bread, lots of bread, as we all sit down to tea. I am the captain, this is my ship. Load up the galley for our little trip. And the crew say, cook, serve us meat, as we sail the 7 seas. Meat, lots of meat, as we all sit down to tea. Cook, serve us fruit, as we sail the 7 seas. Fruit, lots of fruit, as we all sit down to tea. Cook, serve us fish, as we sail the 7 seas. Fish, lots of fish, as we all sit down to tea. Cook, serve us bread, as we sail the 7 seas. Bread, lots of bread, as we all sit down to tea. I am the captain, this is my ship. Load up the galley for our little trip. And the crew say, cook, serve us eggs, as we sail the 7 seas. Eggs, lots of eggs, as we all sit down to tea. Cook, serve us meat, as we sail the 7 seas. Meat, lots of meat, as we all sit down to tea. Cook, serve us fruit, as we sail the 7 seas. Fruit, lots of fruit, as we all sit down to tea. Cook, serve us fish, as we sail the 7 seas. Fish, lots of fish, as we all sit down to tea. Cook, serve us bread, as we sail the 7 seas. Bread, lots of bread, as we all sit down to tea.
Sounds like there were no baked beans or sausages, but you can't have everything. So the boat and its crew set off in search of a smile maker, something to make the sad queen smile. They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grows. That's the owl and the pussycat, isn't it? They sailed for ages, through sunshine and rain, storm and calm, until they finally reached the shores of a small island. Perhaps we'll find something here that would make the queen smile. "Keep your eyes open, keep them peeled," said the captain. "Well, there's a coconut there that looks just like your head, Captain," said one of the crew. Captain Byamile didn't think that was very funny, and was sure the queen wouldn't either. The crew moved across the golden sands and into the jungle, which was quite scary, especially when you heard some of the sounds that came from the animals there.
Listen to the animals. Listen to the animals. Deep in the jungle, all around, listen to animal sounds. Deep in the jungle, all around, listen to animal sounds. Go lions in the jungle, so wild and free. Go lions in the jungle, but they wouldn't scare me. Listen to the animals. Listen to the animals. Deep in the jungle, all around, listen to animal sounds. Deep in the jungle, all around, listen to animal sounds. Go monkeys in the jungle, so wild and free. Go monkeys in the jungle, but they wouldn't scare me. Listen to the animals. Listen to the animals. Deep in the jungle, all around, listen to animal sounds. Deep in the jungle, all around, listen to animal sounds. Go snakes in the jungle, so wild and free. Go snakes in the jungle, but they wouldn't scare me. Listen to the animals. Listen to the animals.
And then he appeared, a furry, golden-coloured bear, walking on his back legs. The sailors were scared at first, but the captain told them to just stand still. This bear actually looked cuddly. "Hey, Captain, the Queen would love to have that bear to cuddle." "Know what? I think you're right," said the captain. "I wonder if he'd be happy to come with us." It seemed so, because the bear happily followed them back to the shore and really seemed to enjoy the trip on the little boat back to the big ship, where he was welcomed by the rest of the crew. During the journey home, the bear, who the crew called Barnaby, became very popular, especially when the crew discovered that Barnaby was absolutely brilliant at making porridge. Of course, That's not really surprising. Remember Goldilocks? Suddenly, on the horizon and rapidly approaching, the crew spotted another ship. As it got closer, the man in the crow's nest, a little platform high up on the biggest sail mast, looked through the telescope and saw something that sent shivers down his back. He was already shivering, actually, because the crow's nest was so high up and it was very windy. No, this was a different shiver. Fear. The ship was flying the Jolly Roger, the skull and crossbones flag that showed it was a pirate ship. Ooh. He shouted down to the deck, "Pirates! Pirates! Getting close fast!" He took another look. "Looks like oh no, it's Pegleg Pete!" Pegleg Pete, the most feared pirate captain on the 7 seas. "Oh no, Pegleg Pete, the most feared pirate captain on the 7 seas!" shouted the crew. "Prepare to be boarded!" shouted Captain Byamile.
Fly the Jolly Roger, send you to the bottom with Davy Jones. Fly the Jolly Roger, skull and crossbones. Fly the Jolly Roger, taking all the treasure from ships we meet. Fly the Jolly Roger, with our captain, fearsome one-eyed Pegleg Pete. Beard and scars and peg and patch, Long John Silver ain't no match. Make some girl a lovely catch. Shiver me timbers and a bottle of rum. Give us a cutlass and a powdered pistol. Being a pirate is fun. Fly the Jolly Roger, send you to the bottom with Davy Jones. Fly the Jolly Roger, skull and crossbones. Fly the Jolly Roger, taking all the treasure from ships we meet. Fly the Jolly Roger, with our captain, fearsome one-eyed Pegleg Pete. Don't keep treasure in no bank, keeps it where it's dark and dank. Touch it and you'll walk the plank. Shiver me timbers and a bottle of rum. Give us a cutlass and a powdered pistol. Being a pirate is fun. Fly the Jolly Roger, send you to the bottom with Davy Jones. Fly the Jolly Roger, skull and crossbones. Fly the Jolly Roger, taking all the treasure from ships we meet. Fly the Jolly Roger, with our captain, fearsome one-eyed Pegleg Pete.
Pieces of 8, pieces of 8.
Yes, Polly, my pretty parrot. My treasure chest is filled with piratical golden coins.
Who's a pretty pirate? Who's a pretty pirate?
Not me, Polly. I'm scary. Arr!
Fly the Jolly Roger, send you to the bottom with Davy Jones. Fly the Jolly Roger, skull and crossbones. Fly the Jolly Roger, taking all the treasure from ships we meet. Fly the Jolly Roger, with our captain, fearsome one-eyed Pegleg Pete.
Next thing they knew, the pirate crew were on board, along with their dreaded captain, Pegleg Pete. Oh, he looked scary. He was scary. "Ahar!" he shouted. "Let me have all your treasure, and I'll let you all go." Of course, he didn't know that they didn't have any treasure at all. What they did have, though, was a brown bear, who suddenly appeared on deck out of the cabin. As soon as the pirate crew saw the bear, they all screamed, "A bear! A bear! Look out!" And they scrambled back into their own boat, which then very quickly hurtled off the way it had come. Not many people get to see a hurtling ship. They hadn't stayed long enough to see that Barnaby was a very friendly bear, and in the rush they also hadn't realised that Peg-Leg Pete had been left behind. He'd slipped on the deck, trying to run with his wooden leg, and was quickly and easily captured by Captain Byamile and his crew. Wow, what a day! Peg-Leg Pete, scourge of the seven seas, safely locked away in their brig, which is like a small prison on a ship. At last they reached home, and the palace, where Queen Quinquidine was waiting. "The Prime Minister tells me you have something for me," said the Queen. "Let's be having it then." Sometimes the Queen could be a bit rude as well as miserable.
"Your Majesty," said the captain, "may I present for your delight?"
Barnaby walked into the room.
"A bear?" said the Queen. "A bear? I hate bears! Hate them! Get it out!"
Well, not quite what Captain Byamile and Monty the Prime Minister had been expecting.
"Is that it?"
asked the Queen.
"Anything else?"
The captain had a quick think.
"The bear makes a brilliant bowl of porridge,"
said the captain, who was desperate for ideas.
"Porridge? Porridge? I hated porridge ever since I heard that silly story about Goldilocks."
Well, that was a surprise. Goldilocks was a terrific story, but the Queen was very, very miserable, of course.
"Any other brilliant gifts?"
asked the Queen. Well, the captain was really stumped now.
We do have a prisoner, Your Majesty, a really bad pirate we caught." "Let's have a butcher's," said the Queen.
The words butcher's hook rhyme with look, and people sometimes say butcher's when they just mean look. Why on earth they don't just say look, I don't know. Anyway, fearsome Peg-Leg Pete had been in prison for several days now and had had time to smarten himself up a bit, shaved his beard, combed his hair, cleaned his piratical teeth, and even polished his wooden leg. Peg-Leg came into the room and stood opposite the Queen for quite a while. Everyone had been expecting the Queen to shout,
"I hate pirates! Off with his head!"
or something equally miserable, but that's not what she said at all.
"Petey!"
After a moment the pirate said,
Quinqui,
"Petey!
Quinqui."
Petey! Quinqui!"
This went on for ages, until they suddenly rushed toward each other, Peg-Leg being careful not to slip with his wooden leg on the posh polished floor, and they gave each other a huge hug. Guess what? Although I bet you already have, it turned out that Peg-Leg Pete was Queen Quinquidine's lost brother, Prince Peter. What a coincidence! All those years ago, Prince Peter had been lost and walked for ages until he arrived at the harbour near the castle. There, some sailors had grabbed him, not realising he was a prince, and bundled him aboard a pirate ship to help the pirate cook. Over the years, Peter had worked his way up to become the captain, the fearless Captain Peg-Leg Pete. I think a shark had gobbled his leg off at some stage. Anyway, Prince Peter and Queen Quinquidine were together again at last. And boy, was the Queen happy. From that day on, she was never without a smile, and she certainly made sure Prince Peter never got lost again. Everybody in the land liked her now that she was smiley and happy, and even Monty, the Prime Minister, wanted to be her friend. Friends and relations, eh? The most important things in life.
Sure they're there. They will cheer me up, I know. I can always be sure they care. Doesn't matter when, doesn't matter where. They're the people I can trust. People who will smile don't think twice. I can call on them day or night. Doesn't matter when, doesn't matter where, they're the people I can trust. People who will smile, people who will share, people who are like that must be friends, 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 friends.
Queen Quinquidine had found at last a long-lost brother, who also became a very, very best friend. Friends are great.
Doesn't matter when, doesn't matter where, they're the people I can trust. People who will smile, people who will share, people who are like that must be friends, 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 friends. When I'm doing something wrong, they will take me aside and say, when I'm not where I belong, they will help me to see the way. Doesn't matter when, doesn't matter where, they're the people I can trust. People who will smile, people who will share, people who are like that